Hey beauties, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Riri, and I love bacon. It smells so good. It tastes so good. I know it's not the best thing in the world for you, so don't come at me if you don't eat it. That's totally fine with me. But damn, it's good. It just, even when someone's frying it, it just smells amazing, and I crave it and I want to eat it all the time. I don't, but I do love it. Anyways, today is going to be fairly short. I hope. It doesn't really take that long to put on foundation, but I'm going to be doing a first impression review wear test of the new Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. This is the shade 2.16. This is the shade that I received in my Ipsy bag. You guys hear me preach all the time about samples, going to Sephora and getting samples. The reason that I love Ipsy bags and, the unboxings where it's travel size products, I think it is such an incredible way to try new products, especially higher end products, and see if you like it. I've heard mixed reviews about this. I'm pretty damn excited that all these companies finally are coming out with hydrating and luminous foundations. Thank you, Jesus. Because my dry skin cannot handle matte ass stuff. So it is supposed to be a 24-hour stay, medium to full coverage, and oil-free hydration kind of based foundation. I'm going to prep my skin. I literally have zero anything on my skin, no nothing at all. So I'm going to come in with my MAC Fix Plus. Any hydrating spray is completely fine. And then I have, in the past couple weeks, been using the No Problem Essence. It smells so amazing and it feels wonderful on the skin. And then the Yensa Tone Up Primer. I actually have gone through the two smaller ones that we've gotten in past, I think, Ipsy boxes or Allura boxes. So I have the full size now that we got like in a BoxyCharm, I think. So super excited. These have been working beautifully together. So I shake this up just a little bit. And I just use it from here. You obviously don't have to do that. And I just put two little kind of, as you can see right here. And that's enough, and it smells so good that I just take and start kind of pressing it in to the skin. It feels very slippy, like very, very moisturizing. It feels incredible. And it smells so good too. I always go over my lids, of course. I don't believe in lid primer. I think it's a waste of your money. If you are kind of treating your eyes the same way as your skin and keeping your eyes prepped, then you don't need an eye primer. I just go over my eyelids with my primer, my foundation, and then do a little bit of concealer and pat it out with some powder. That's it. And I've tried primers for the lids before, and I don't feel like they worked any different or any better than doing what I normally do. Then I'm going to take the Yensa. I always put products just on the back of my hand. You can use a face brush, which I do quite often when I put these on, and it is just like a flat kind of paddle brush, and you can use that for face masks as well. I use my ring finger, of course, because it allows for the least amount of pressure, and then I typically do 5 dots. I do this for skincare or things like this as well, and then just blend everything in. This is really beautiful, really glowy. Again, it smells really nice, and I definitely feel like it does start to blur the pores and stuff out. Got some little friends here that were not invited to the party, so, we want to kind of cover them up a little bit, and then I always press any additional product into the skin just to really make sure that it's going into the skin and getting absorbed well. And of course, if I was not talking, this would have been done in 2 seconds, literally. Let me go ahead and get my little towel. I always keep a towel on my lap. I used to not do that and was realizing that I was ruining a whole lot of clothes. Okay, here we go. I'm really scared. Y'all know this, that sometimes these things go wonderfully and sometimes not so much. I am going to get really super close. I do now kind of have a different setup. I mean, everything's still the same, but I'm using my mirror in a different way, and I have my mirror in front of me instead of like to the side, and kind of that way I can see super up close to you guys. So, excuse me, you can see I have broken capillaries, of course, rosacea, redness, and stuff like that. I have a little friend here, a couple little age spots, that kind of stuff. So I don't feel like I have bad skin, and when my skin is doing really well, like I don't usually even wear foundation, I'm not gonna lie, I just wear powder. So you see what we're working with, and I will also insert, just because sometimes the lighting is not as good here as it is when I take an actual image, a photo, so I will insert before and after photos as well. So we're gonna shake her up. Oh, that's cool. It's in a super fine little, oh, that's way liquidier, more liquid than I thought it was going to be. And I'm going to go in with my BH Cosmetics #1 brush. It is a flat top kabuki brush. That is my all-time favorite type of brush or applicator for foundation application. If you are not a brush fan, kudos to you. You use what you feel comfortable with. This is my preferred method. I feel like it is way more coverage when you use a brush versus a beauty blender, and you do not waste as much product. So I always start, as you guys know, with nice pouncing, stippling motions, and kind of start with the inner part of my face and then blend out to the perimeter with less product on the brush and going into more of a blending or like a circular buffing motion. So it does not have a smell at all. I don't smell anything. So again, and I try to avoid like getting directly under my eye, especially if I'm going to use a little bit of concealer. That's a good rule of thumb if you are a more mature beauty. Less is more when it comes to products around the eye. They can tend to settle and look crepey and crease pretty badly. As we get older, you know, all these wonderful, amazing things happen for us. So now I'm going to take, and I'm just kind of pushing it where I've already taken the product not actually sticking it back in the product. And I'm going to make sure that everything is blended out here. And then because my forehead is typically looking really nice, I don't do an actual, you know, like a full coverage type of application up here. I cannot fucking speak English today, y'all. Sorry, my alarm is going off. And then of course I take it over my lids as well. Oh, okay. So far so good. Let me just make sure that I'm completely blended out. And you guys know I always like to show one side of the face. I definitely would say it's medium to full coverage. I think if I built this up it would be like super bomb coverage, but right now I'm loving how it looks. It's blending in pretty well. I don't see any settling or creasing or anything like that as of yet. And I do see a little bit of luminosity coming through. I would definitely call it more of like a satin. I don't feel like it's dewy, so I think that you could maybe get away with this. We'll see how it wears. I think you can maybe get away with it if you have slightly oily skin or combo skin. And then, of course, as I get to the outer perimeter, I am just going to lightly buff with circular buffing motions as opposed to stippling or kind of pouncing where I need the extra coverage at. So we're going to get super close. All right, so I definitely think that looks really beautiful. You can see that there's no redness. You don't see my age spots or anything like that. I can see a tiny bit of like some acne scarring just barely peeking through. It has completely covered up any of the broken capillaries and stuff like that. All my little freckles, all my rosacea. Yeah, I think that looks really pretty. All right, let's do the rest of the face because she's getting a little jealous over here, okay? So I'm going to squeeze out a little bit more. It is definitely liquidy, which is weird that it has such beautiful coverage because I typically find that if a foundation is kind of more liquidy, it doesn't build up as much. So same exact thing. I'm going to load up my brush and really pounce it into the areas that I need the extra coverage at. That's kind of a good rule of thumb too, just for anybody. I definitely feel like traditionally we need the most coverage kind of in the inner part of the face, you know, around the nose and stuff like that, our T-zone areas. And I like to stipple, again, not coming right under the eye. That way I don't get too much product in there. And then whatever kind of just residual little product is left on the back of my hand, I will use that to kind of start prepping my lid. And then my circular buffing motions over the forehead. Again, I don't need the extra coverage there. Making sure we get up into the hairline and into the ears, y'all. And then behind the ear as well. Just so we have a flawless canvas from any angle. that we were to be photographed at, or the, you know, the people looking at us at. I feel like I need a little bit more, so I'm actually going to try to build this up. I'm sorry if you guys heard that. That was probably loud because I hit the microphone. So I'm literally taking just a dot, and I'm going to press it just right through here. And blend that out. Maybe go over this spot. Okay, yeah, definitely cover. Whoa. Okay. It is buildable for sure. I'm interested to see, obviously we're not keeping this on for 24 hours. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. I will most likely keep it on till at least 8 or 9. Go around my little nose again. Get this lash off my eye before it goes in my eye. Yeah, I don't see any kind of creasing or anything. I think the coverage is really pretty. I do see a little bit of my skin coming through, which y'all know I love. But I definitely think that if you are a full coverage beauty, then this is going to be stunning for you as well. So before I get anything set or anything like that, we are going to get up close and personal again. So I definitely think I was picking at this, so I don't think I'm going to get it to go all the way down and not be, you know, kind of disturbed, if you will. But it looks really stunning. Typically, if something is just going to be trash out the get-go on me, it is going to automatically start setting here. That is also why I don't put as much product through my nasolabial folds, because it ain't cute. But yeah, I don't see any kind of creasing. I love how it feels on the skin, and I do definitely see like a little bit of luminosity coming through, but it's not so dewy that I think if you like a matte formulation, it's going to be too much. But we'll hold off on full judgment. So this is where I'm at. I am going to do the rest of my face the way that I normally do. And I'm just going to take a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape. I am in light sand. And y'all know I don't use a ton of concealer. Again, especially as we get older, less is more, especially around the eyes, y'all. And I definitely feel like I see people use way too much concealer, especially if you don't need it. So yeah, I'm just going to go in with my little beaky blender here. This blender is so nice, y'all, and it gets freaking humongous when you wet it. And I'm not a blender fan, aside from, you know, I use it to, like, cut my contour and stuff like that. I use a blender, obviously, for my concealer and stuff. But it is actually a blender that I would use for my foundation, and I have tried it on my foundation, and I like it. I still definitely prefer a brush for foundation. That is just personal preference. So again, you saw I used the very smallest little amount, and I always kind of bring it up and pull it out this way. It just really lifts the eye. It opens the eye, you know, makes the eye just have this beautiful sense of light to it. But again, I'm really cautious, especially on older clients and on myself, to just not use too much product around the eyes or any kind of, you know, nasolabial folds. I think even younger people, I've seen quite a few younger people even have very pronounced kind of smile lines. I always kind of caution to not put a lot of product in that area, just because it can crease pretty badly, especially if you're really animated like me. And then I'm going to keep my eyes nice and smooth until I can set this in place. This is working beautifully with the foundation. Nothing's like, you know, kind of moving or anything like that. I'm going to go into, I said the wrong thing, my Becca Hydra Mist. This stuff is amazing. I love it so much. I think it's actually supposed to be part of the new Ulta 21 Days of Beauty thing. I think it is. And I'm literally just taking a kind of looser domed brush and very softly just dusting it across those areas that I put the concealer at. I do always take a little bit and put in these smile lines. This stuff feels so amazing, you guys. I don't know how the hell they do this. And I'm actually excited that I can finally use some kind of a loose powder, because I have never been able to use a loose powder. So again, everything is set in place. You want to make sure that you press out any creases or anything like that prior to laying down your powder. Excuse me, guys. Jeez. I just ate pizza. Maybe not the best time to try to film. Okay. And then we are going to dust that away with just a clean face brush. If you do have oily skin, you can bake and you can keep all this powder all over your face as long as you want to, honey. But for dry beauty such as myself, You do not want powder sitting on your skin for a long period of time. Okay, I'm going to set my face. Again, I do not use a lot of powder. I don't bake or anything like that. The only time I will ever bake is if I'm going for like super bomb, in your face, glam, and I really want to cut out, you know, my contour and stuff like that. I'll bake for a couple minutes and then dust it away. So I'm just going into my IT Cosmetics. This is the shade Medium, and it is just their powder foundation in Illumination. And I used a huge open fluffy brush. Remember, the more fluffy and open the bristles on your brush are, the least amount of product you're going to lay down. And that's what I want. I just want to barely set my face. Yeah, even putting the powder down, I can still see my skin through and still see a little bit of luminosity. So I'm liking this thus far. Again, that's it. Not a lot of powder at all. I always will spray my face in between this step before I go into my brows, my blush, highlight, etc. Just because my skin is so dry and I want to do everything that I normally do with my foundation routine. I'm now going to take the butt end of my blender and just press this in very, very softly. What this is going to do is kind of really allow those powders to sink into the skin, kind of mesh and be one with the skin instead of sitting on top of the skin. It's going to make sure that you don't look, you know, too cakey. We don't want to look like a damn, you know, a flower. We don't look like we have flour on our faces. So that's it for now. I'm going to get close one more time. I'm absolutely loving it thus far. I think it is really pretty. I'm loving seeing a little bit of my skin kind of popping through, seeing that little bit of a glow. And I don't have anything else on the skin aside from this. The coverage is stunning. I still don't see it like kind of sinking in anywhere. And if it does, it's going to kind of cause an issue through here, which is kind of normal for me, and then through here. So we will do that on the check-in and see where we're at. I think it's fucking stunning. Okay. Well, that is it for right now, and I will see you guys in a few hours, and then hopefully do another check-in at 9 or 10 tonight. I at least want to keep it on for like 6 to 7 hours. But yeah, so far so good. And I will probably come back with full makeup because I'm filming today. So I will do more, obviously, videos while I'm doing this. I'm also supposed to be doing a big clothing haul, and y'all know Mama sweats. So if I can get through all that and it still look beautiful in 6 hours, I think it's a win. So I'll see you later. All right, beauties, it is check-in time. It is 5:59, so we're going to say 6 o'clock. This foundation has been on for 3 hours. As you can see, I have a full beat going on now. I've literally been filming the entire time. I'm exhausted. So even after layering and layering and layering and layering for all these other tutorials that I've done, this foundation is pretty mother effing bomb. It is still not creasing or anything like that in my little like smile lines like it normally would with a lot of foundations. It hasn't settled up here at all. It's not breaking down at all. And I literally, again, have been in here for 3 hours and it looks stunning. I can still see just a little bit of my skin through. It's not too matte. It's not too drying, but it's not too dewy at all. I look pretty damn flawless. Like, I'm really loving it a whole lot. So thus far, very much impressed. I'm 100% loving this, like a lot. So I will check in again, probably another 3 hours. Like I said, I want to try to wear this for at least 6 hours. But I did want to say that even after doing highlight, contour, bronzing, everything, it is staying in place, y'all. Like, it's pretty damn bomb. It's stunning on the skin as well. So I'm really excited. I need to check and see like what their shade range is like. I'm not quite sure, and I don't know how much the full size is. So I'm gonna try to look all that stuff up as well to let y'all know. But mommy likes, I approve so far. I'll see y'all in 3 hours. Bye. All right, beauties, it is that time. Mama has had a long day. Y'all have been recording for almost 7 hours. My ass hurts really bad. Anyways, it is 9:13. This has been on for 6 hours and 13 minutes. Holy shit. And you can see I have a full face of makeup now because I've been finishing up my back to basics. And yeah, I have to say, I need to get a full size of this when I use up some of my other foundations. So as you can see, I'm very close, up close and personal. And it is absolutely stunning. Even with all the other makeup on top, I have a tiny little bit of oil kind of coming through right here. It may also be that the light is so intense on me, but it is just slightly getting a little bit of something right there. And you can see that my nasolabial folds are looking a gorge. There's no separating or breaking. The only little thing that I will say is right through here on both sides is just slightly kind of getting a little bit cakey and creasing just a little bit. But it has not creased in my old lady lines or anything like that. Again, we'll get super close. And it has not settled anywhere else. It is not broken down anywhere. It is not off, and I've eaten and everything. It is not off of my chin or broken down there. It still looks very flawless, very full coverage. I absolutely love it. I cannot say how much I love this foundation. The color was really beautiful. It did not oxidize or anything like that on me. I think it's absolutely stunning, and now I get to go watch other people's first impression reviews, wear tests, because y'all know that I don't like to go see other people's opinions until I've done my own. So Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation, shade 2.16. You are Riri approved, my love. I'm blown away. I'm genuinely blown away. And I have been sweating a lot and been in front of these lights for a long time, all day pretty much. So yeah, I'm very, very impressed. Like I said, there's just a little bit of kind of, and if it's starting to separate or if it's just I actually got some dewiness to my skin. But I like that, and I would not even pat myself down or anything like that. I love this kind of a look, this very glowy, like lit from within, but I don't feel like even after wearing it for almost 6.5 hours and it being a hydrating foundation, I don't feel like I look like an oil slick. I don't feel like I look sweaty or anything like that. Again, the only tiny little thing that I see is just a little bit of separation through here, and the fact that it just got a little bit, let me try to pull it. I don't want to pull my skin too hard. It just got a little bit creasy right in there, as you guys can see. Which with that, I could honestly just press it out with my fingers and then maybe put a little bit of powder there, and it would be fine. So that's it. Definitely Riri approved. I love, 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 love this. I will probably go out on a limb now and say that if you have very oily skin, this ain't the foundation for you. Again, if I'm building up a little bit of oil here and here, and I have very dry skin, I think you're not going to like this. So just a word of caution: if you have very oily skin, definitely stay away. Aside from that, holy shit, I'm like blown away, and I love this stuff so much. I've been using the Hover Cover by Kim Gravel and the Urban Decay Stay Naked pretty much ever since I got both of those. I've been kind of intermixing both of those, but she's fixing to get up in a mix too. I love this. I think especially for wintertime and it having that little bit of hydration and luminosity to it, I would probably set this area just a little bit more than what I did earlier. Y'all know I just kind of press lightly and then dust it away. Aside from that, I love it. I think for 6.5 hours almost, it looks incredible. All right, so that is a final look and my final review, first impressions. I love it. I absolutely love it. The only way that I would change my mind on this is if I woke up in the morning and my face broke out. Let's not let that happen. But normally if I'm going to have a reaction, I have it right away. It didn't make my eyes sting or burn anything like that. Even when I was sweating and in the lights in here, some foundations make me feel really itchy and stuff. It did not do that. It still feels really like beautiful and really soft and light on the skin. I cannot say enough about it. I did not think I was going to like this as much as the two that I've been using all the time. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did at all, then please give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. If you'll tap the notification bell, I'd be even more grateful and thankful. And please always remember to be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.